This is JD Lewis, and he says that he has the healthiest diet in the world. I'm here to critique that, staying nice and respectful, and so far it is looking pretty good. Let's go.
What if I told you the world's healthiest diet doesn't include a single vegetable? Well,
I'd say that you're probably correct, because there is no micronutrients that you need in a vegetable that you can't find in animal products. And things like fiber, you don't need it. It's an indigestible plant cellulose, meaning it's like just eating bark off of a tree. Like, you don't need it. It just hurts your digestion. If you eat proper foods, then you can digest everything correctly because you've got the correct enzymes to digest them.
At least for me. Let me explain. For the past year and a half, I've mainly eaten only 5 foods. Grass-fed.
Nice. You should know exactly what you eat, by the way. You should know exactly what ingredients. That's the pinpoint spectacle of where you want to be. You know, like he said, a couple of foods. Like, first of all, you want to cut out junk food. Then you want to go for things, you know, like getting rid of strange chemicals and stuff in like Monster energy drinks like that. You want to get rid of them. And then you move down, slowly deleting things over time. It's like an elimination diet. So you slowly like delete things until you're left with just a few foods that you know how you react to. Because then, say for example, he added in potatoes. I don't know what he's going to say here, but say he added in potatoes. Because he only eats a couple of things, then he knows how they affect him. So he adds potatoes and suddenly he feels really bloated. Or maybe he has more energy, so he keeps potatoes in, right? Once you have a specific small amount set of foods that you eat, then you know how each food, when you add them, affects you.
Beef, grass-fed and raw dairy, pasture-raised
Nice.
eggs, organic fruit, and organic raw unfiltered honey. Zero process.
So that is absolutely phenomenal. Only thing is, no, not to be nitpicky or anything, but I don't really like honey anymore, because it made me my energy levels were up and over the place all the time, just because it's basically just pure sugar. It's just fructose and glucose, and that's it. There's not any nutrients that you need in there that you can't get from all these foods. And fruits, you don't need fruits for anything as well, but I understand why he has them.
Honey. Zero processed foods, no artificial ingredients, no seed oils, no junk, no nothing.
Ooh.
However, you might be wondering, why did I do this in the first place? Because there's a big problem in today's world, and that is that most food isn't really real food. So much of it is ultra processed and filled with—
Yeah, I just think of everything as slop these days. Like, if you've ever been to the gym, right? When you first go to the gym, you start to have these gym eyes. You look at foods and you can see how much protein it's got, how many calories it's got. Like, you get this vision. You can like a superhero sense. You can see what they've got. But when you get onto this more like natural way of eating, like primal way of eating, then I tend to see foods as, if they're not from an animal, then they have no nutrition, and therefore they are not technically food, because food is supposed to give you nutrition. But things like say for example oats, they are literally nothing. They are just empty. They are just calories. They are just energy. That's it, right? And I guess you could say that food is energy, but I think food is nutrition. So if it has no nutrition, then not much point in calling it food, really.
artificial ingredients and preservatives that are linked to a wide range of health problems. Like, look at these ingredients on these cookies that my friend's mom bought them. Like, what is this?
Yeah, when I went to America, everything was like that. I was on a specific Red 40 diet when I was in America. I'm not proud of it.
Bro, like, why are there so many numbers in it? And I learned all this the hard way, because 2 years ago, I developed an autoimmune disease in my pancreas that left me crippled for 5 months. I was sick, skinny, unhealthy, and in pain every single day, and then eventually I got hospitalized, and when I found out what was wrong, I knew that the most important thing for healing my body would be changing the way that I eat. So for the next few months—
Diet can change pretty much everything. Like, if you haven't got your diet locked in, like, you don't have to be super strict with everything. Stay as strict as you want. Don't stress about it. But mainly, you just want to be, like 95% strict with what you eat, because then you just feel better. I noticed, like, I had some, because it was Mother's Day, like a couple of days ago, I ate some, like chocolates that I bought for my mum. I ate them with her, because I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to eat it, you know what I mean? But I ate it, and I can already see some acne coming in. Like, I literally saw it within a couple of hours of eating it. My acne started flaring up a little bit. Just interesting, you know?
I began experimenting with my diet, and I spent hours every day researching and learning about food and health, researching terms like grass-fed, pasture-raised, and organic, until eventually I landed on what's known as the animal-based diet. This diet primarily consists of highly nutrient-dense animal foods such as grass-fed meat.
Animal-based is fantastic, that's what I'm on, but people like Paul Saladino, depending on where you are in the world, you know, if you're in somewhere like Costa Rica, like Paul Saladino is, he has a lot of sun, so he can take in more like fructose, like more fruit, so he can eat more fruit, and he's very active throughout the day. But say for example you're in England like me, it is sunny actually, surprisingly, like the first time in about 3 years, but normally it isn't very sunny, and so you can't have as much fructose in your diet, if you want to be optimal, that is. So just depending on where you live, then, you know, and how active you are, then you can change that accordingly. But mainly you just want to stick to the basic animal foods, right? So meat, eggs, milk, and fish, and that's about it really.
Organs, eggs, and dairy paired with fruit and raw honey for carbohydrates. But what about vegetables? Why don't I eat vegetables? I'll explain that in a moment, but first I'm gonna show you everything that I eat in a day to maximize my health and my athletic performance.
Oh, let's see it.
Breakfast. Good morning. All right, I just finished my morning routine, which usually takes me a few hours. I woke up and took a cold shower, stretched, read my Bible, and
Wouldn't
prayed.
recommend a cold shower. I don't like them. Do what you want.
Went for a walk and saw the craziest fog I've ever seen. Fog is insane. Worked out, and now it's time for breakfast. I had a raw milk smoothie early this morning to give me some energy for my work.
Raw milk's fantastic. People say, oh my God, it's going to kill you. I drank it for months, never had a single problem. Do with that what you will.
Workout that consisted of a grass-fed raw milk, organic strawberries, 1 organic banana, organic raw unfiltered honey, grass-fed collagen, creatine,
You
and
don't need any collagen if you just eat minced beef, because you get all the collagen from that.
some magnesium. But now everything.
But that is a fantastic smoothie. That's better. When I used to eat like the bodybuilder shakes, you know, you put like loads of oats in, then you put protein powder with about 30 chemicals in it and loads of things. It just made me look worse, right? My skin just looked worse, my hair looked worse, I felt worse, I didn't have as much energy, blah, 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 blah. So when you just eat things like this and you know exactly what ingredients there is, like literally I was trying to find marmalade to put on sourdough toast, Jason's sourdough toast, because it's got like, it's like bread, it's literally just bread, it's not got any excess things in it. I wouldn't recommend it though, because it, you know, you don't need it for anything. But I was trying to find some marmalade, and every single marmalade in the shop had about 35 ingredients. I was like, brother, come on, can you not just have it with like orange and sugar? Obviously, that's not fantastic for you, but you know, allow me. So I was trying to find it for ages, and I had to go like to this specific shop called Gale's, and there was another one in like a farm shop somewhere. You can find basically everything like raw in farm shops, so go to farm shops if you have them, right? And I was trying to find one in this, I found one in Gale's, but it took me ages. And you know, it's about £12.50, well, it wasn't that much, but it's about £150 for a little jar of marmalade. So, very nice. So if you can find everything, I don't know what my point was there. If you can find anything where it's, you know exactly what ingredients there is, then go for it, you know, it's good.
Thing we got here. So we got 6 pasture-raised eggs cooked in grass-fed butter.
Kiwis, I don't like kiwis because when I eat them, I just find them a bit sour. And I think if you eat something that's sour, you're not sort of really supposed to eat it, you know, like primitively. Avocado, not bad, one of the best fruits you can have. I'm guessing that's sourdough toast. If you can literally get sourdough toast, which is just, you know, like flour and yeast and that's about it, then perfect, that's fine. But I mean, up to you if you want to be optimal. Optimal, you get rid of that and you'd literally just have the eggs, but how optimal do you want to go?
With some grass-fed raw cheddar cheese on top, 2 organic kiwis, 1 avocado, and some organic sourdough bread that my mom actually made and shipped it to me, and only has 4 ingredients, so...
See, there you go.
Thanks, Mom. And another raw milk smoothie with
mom.
grass-fed raw milk, organic blueberries and strawberries, and some organic
nice.
raw unfiltered honey. But what if I told you this isn't even the best part of my breakfast yet?
No way.
The best is yet to come. I haven't even gotten to dessert yet. That's right,
God.
I said it. Dessert. All right. It's time to eat this thing. And while I devour this breakfast, I'll explain to you why just about everything I get from the grocery store is organic, grass-fed, and pasture-raised. A lot of non-organic produce, while it's being grown, can be sprayed with pesticides and herbicides.
The only problem is organic is better than non-organic, but when they spray it with, everything is sprayed with pesticides, even if it is organic, but it's just sprayed with organic pesticides, but it's still pesticides. So if you're that bothered, if you have the money and stuff, go for organic. But you know, if you're thinking, what should I spend my money on? Because some things can be quite expensive, like meat and stuff. Then just don't bother with the organic stuff, you know, or just don't eat fruit.
Especially glyphosate, which has been linked to many negative effects on health.
Linked does not. It's not. That is an associative study. It does not mean that it causes. It's not cause and effect. I can believe it, but it's not cause and effect, so you shouldn't directly believe it.
So that's why I always get organic. And for animal foods like beef, dairy, and eggs, I always get grass-fed and pasture-raised because...
Very good. Just be careful. Just make sure that grass-fed is 100% grass-fed. Means it's been eating grass its whole entire life rather than been eating like grains and stuff.
Conventionally raised cows and chickens are often fed corn and soy, but animals raised
I like this guy. He's got a good video, by the way.
on pastures are able to roam outside and eat more natural diets, which results in their food products having more nutritional benefits.
It's just like a healthy human. Would you rather, if you were to eat a human, if you were a cannibal or something, right? Would you rather eat one that's very healthy, or would you rather eat one that like eats loads of junk food and stuff? It's basically the same thing, right?
So pretty much, you are what you eats. Does anybody else eat kiwis with the skin on? Because
Nope.
I do. More nutrient.
I know a lot of of people, I've never tried
And
that.
also, at the end of the
Probably
day, I'm
never
going to
will.
show the total calories and macros of everything that I eat.
Calories don't really exist. They don't really apply to how we digest food. We digest chemicals. So
Done.
make sure that the chemicals going into your body are good.
All right. Now it's time for the best part. Now, what if I told you I ate ice cream? Yeah, I know what you're thinking.
I used to eat ice cream a lot as well. I mean, like, he's going to talk about like real ice cream. I did as well. You can get one from Sainsbury's, just a vanilla one. It's like called Madagascar vanilla. You can get one from Lidl. Lidl has one. I think it's just vanilla as well, vanilla bean or something. I think, and you can get Haagen-Dazs vanilla, but that's like £5, so way too expensive. But those two specific ones, they're really good. That I've found that have clean ingredients, so you can eat them if you want. I just found that I got a bit fat after, like I noticed, you know, I got a little bit more belly fat around my stomach because I was eating it every day, so I just thought, leave that one out.
I thought you ate healthy. I do.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I'm not talking regular ice cream. I'm talking ice cream for bears. This is
I think this guy's in the US, I think.
officially the
I wish we had this in the UK, but I haven't
world's
found it.
best, world's healthiest ice cream. This is the cookie dough flavor. Look at these ingredients. No added sugars, no artificial.
Let's have a look. Very nice. Wow, that's crazy, yeah. Yeah, it's literally healthy for you. It's not even bad. Wow, this lighting is getting a little bit dark. I do apologise. Let me do a bit of that. It's very dark. But yeah, this is fantastic. This is literally how this could be a meal. Sometimes I would treat ice cream as a meal because you're eating milk, you're eating egg yolks, stuff like that. So although it's not the best meal in the world because you know you've got extra things like coconut oil and cacao and stuff like that, and dates spike your. I mean, they don't spike your glucose as much, dates, but you know you just like a lot of things that you don't really need. But up to you. The one that I eat from Lidl or Sainsbury's, they have better ingredients than this, which is interesting.
Artificial ingredients, no
that's
junk. Made with regenerative, grass-fed, organic, low-temp, pasteurized dairy, sweetened with raw honey. This is about as good as it gets right here. Also, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. This is not like a promo, but ice cream for bears. If you're watching, hit me up. Cookie dough made with real food ingredients. Man. Fun fact, I went on a road trip last summer across the whole country just cliff jumping, and I ate 1 pint of ice cream for bears almost every single day, and it was like a 40-day road trip. So you do the math. A few hours after eating some ice cream for bears, I had one organic
Bananas have a lot of potassium, make you devolute. That's quite good.
banana before heading to the beach. And then when I got back home, I cooked my second big meal. All right, so I just got back from doing some really hard work at the beach. And now it's time for meal number 2. And I proceeded to absolutely chef it up making this steak platter, but I had a little bit of an
I've
accident
never tried one of them.
when putting salt on my
interesting.
eggs. Yeah, my eggs turned out.
Yeah, you don't really need salt on anything because if you just eat meat, then it has the perfect amount of salt, and salt holds loads of water, so you get quite bloated, and you don't want to be bloated. You want to be nice and lean.
A little bit saltier than I had planned, but now it's time to eat. So everything we got here is a grass-fed New York.
If you're either in Stoke or like Liverpool area, go to this guy called Wayne Walker because he has these steaks and they are thick as hell, right? They're like about that big and about that thick. They're really dense, and you can get like 4 or 5 for 20 quid. Like each one's like 3 or 4 quid, and they're really big and big and juicy, right? But they're really good. That's the best place, because if you go to like a supermarket, they're just, you know, about 300 million pounds for one, so it's not the best. But if you can have access to Wayne Walker, he's my go-to right now. He's the GOAT. He sells really cheap steaks, and they're very high quality, and then from a farm as well. So I have steak quite regularly now, which is fantastic.
Strip steak cooked in grass-fed beef tallow, 3 pasture-raised eggs cooked in grass-fed butter, some grass-fed raw cheese.
You will activate the Randall cycle with this, where carbohydrates and fats are competing for energy, so it's not a great metabolic state to be in. But this is about 100 million thousand times better than most people eating, right? So if you can get to this, then you are doing very well.
1 organic dragon fruit, 1
Good physique
organic
as well.
kiwi, and 1 organic mango. And also, if you're wondering for the salt I use Redmond's real salt. I kind of put a little bit too much salt on my eggs. Also, ignore the caution tape in my backyard behind me. The sewer blew up. So, all right, let's eat. By the way, for some reason, I just decided to not use a fork and eat this entire meal with my bare hands. I don't know why, I didn't really plan on it, but it just kind of happened sometimes.
Yeah, I'd like to try that. I haven't eaten a steak with my bare hands, but I feel like that's quite a cool thing to do.
Whenever I make these steak platters on a wooden cutting board. Anyways, here's me eating the egg that I put way too much salt on. Oh my gosh. And this was my last meal for the day, which brings my totals.
I wish the UK was like this, you know, like all sunny and stuff. It's not. So you can't really eat outside on a wooden chopping board like all those TikToks, but you know, you can give it a go. I need to fix this lighting. Oh my God, it's getting a little bit too warm over here. do a bit of that. I do apologize.
For the day to 4,084 calories,
Doesn't matter, but that's still good if you're bulking.
192 grams of protein.
Yeah, protein is easy. You know all these like protein snacks that you can buy? You don't need them anymore. You just eat a steak, eat some minced beef. It's got like minced beef, you know, one of those half a kilo packets. I'm sure that's got like 90 grams of protein or 120 grams of protein. So, you know, ridiculous amount. So you don't need to worry about protein if you're thinking about, oh my God, I can't get my calories in on, you know, like I'm trying to bulk and stuff. And then if you just eat animal based, it's not, you don't even need to think about it.
341 grams of carbs.
Holy hell. If you bring that down, you don't need to worry about getting lean either. When I used to eat, I think I was eating about 100 grams of carbs a day. I was in the best shape because I was eating a ridiculous amount of protein, all the fat, so I'm getting the vitamin A, D, E, K2, B12, taurine, carnitine, creatine, blah, 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 all the nutrition I could need from the animal fat. And then I was getting, did I mention protein? I was basically getting everything. So I was getting leaner whilst I was getting stronger and getting bigger muscles. Yay. It was good.
And 205 grams of fat. Yeah,
lovely.
If you couldn't tell, I kind of eat a lot because I'm actively trying to gain weight. But anyways, now while my friend and I knock down these coconuts,
just sort of eat when you're ready. Eat when you feel like you need to eat. If you wake up in the morning, you're not hungry, you don't need to eat, right? Just these like breakfast, lunch and dinner, that was just created by marketing companies. So you don't necessarily need breakfast or something. So if you just want to go out and wait till you're hungry, just eat when you're hungry. And try and stick to meals if you can, if you want to be optimal. Optimal is about one big meal a day, but you know.
From a coconut tree, I'll explain to you why I do not eat vegetables.
Got a good one.
And it's simple.
See, this is because of where he lives, he can drink like coconut water and he can eat coconuts and fruits a lot more. If you're in the UK, sun isn't out as much, so you're not going to be able to eat as much fruit.
Because when I was healing from my autoimmune problem and experimenting with different foods, I found that eliminating vegetables produced the best result in my health, and I just noticed that I feel and perform my best whenever I exclude them from my diet and mainly eat animal foods with fruit and honey. And interestingly enough, I used to eat a lot more fruits for about the first year of eating like this. However, over time, my diet has slowly become more and more animal-based with less and less fruit and more
I find that when I eat a ton of fruit, my energy is terrible. Like I always have energy crashes, you know, like I'm like really awake and then I'm really tired and I'm really awake and then I'm really tired, like that over and over and over again. So I just prefer the less fruit I eat, the better I feel, which, you know, people are like, oh my God, you need to eat fruit, vitamin C and that. You don't need vitamin C without carbs in the diet, but I do have carbs in the diet, so do need vitamin C. But it's I feel better when I eat less fruit. You know, like one piece of fruit a day max. That's I feel the best on.
animal foods because that's just what I find that I thrive the most on. And I didn't eat
Literally just do what feels best, do what feels right. That's all you need to do. I want to fix this lighting. There you go.
that much meat today, but I'll typically eat at least 1 pound of grass-fed beef per day, usually in the form of 85-15 ground beef, and also something.
I find that the tastiest ground beef is 80-20. I tried 75-25 and it was a little bit too like so I went to 80-20 and that was the best.
Like 6 eggs per day, a few cups of grass-fed or raw milk, a lot of bananas, man, I eat a lot of bananas, a good amount of berries, and a couple tablespoons of raw honey. Also, look how many coconuts we got. That's what hard work looks like, baby. Dang, that sun is bright. I can barely open my eyes. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, what have I noticed from eating like this for a year and a half? Well, first of all, my health has been
Predictions, I reckon his energy level's better, I reckon he's gained more muscle and he's lost fat.
completely transformed. Like, my body has completely healed. I'm stronger and healthier than ever. I feel better than ever. I'm now more athletic than ever. I've gained a ton of lean weight too. But here's where things start to get a little weird. Eating healthy like this has also caused me to branch out into many other healthy lifestyle changes, such as wearing organic cotton clothing, using a reverse osmosis water filter.
If you can do anything, just buy cotton underwear. Right, don't be having polyester underwear because when you sweat and stuff, all the microplastics seep into your balls, and you don't want microplastics in your balls, right? So if you can have anything that's like 100% cotton, then underwear is what to go for. I've always got 100% cotton underwear. I still wear things that are like, you know, polyester and stuff, like main clothing, but just make sure your underwear is fine.
Using stainless steel pans, not using plastic, not using toxic self-care and cleaning.
Nice. Base is the best. Base is what I use for my hair. Fantastic.
Products, red lights in the evening, grounding, sunlight, air purifiers, a shower.
Grounding does help. I find that grounding is one of the best things to do in the world, but the only problem is I don't live in America anymore, so when I live here in the UK, it is flipping freezing on my feet, so I just can't ground until it's summer. So yeah, I don't like the UK, it's annoying, but yeah. If you have the ability to go outside and ground, that sounds a bit weird saying, go out and ground, it's a good thing to do.
Shower filter, and so on. But now the
I
big
need to get a shower filter. That's a good idea.
Question, do I ever cheat on my diet? Do I ever get cravings to eat processed foods? Do I ever plan on quitting? And the answer to all those questions is absolutely not. Absolutely not, baby. Because at this point, this is just my lifestyle and I love it. And also, man, there ain't nothing quite like just eating a good old pound of ground beef. Ain't nothing like it. So if you want to improve your health,
it's literally amazing. You know when people say, oh my God, you're so strict, you should be like that. Live a little. It's just more enjoyable. You look better, you feel, I can't go back now because whenever I eat something bad, acne breaks out on my skin. And I want good skin, right? Like I literally don't do any, I don't have skincare or anything. I just eat well and I don't have any acne. When I used to bulk and eat like loads of food every day and bagels and stuff, and I was doing skincare, my skin was terrible. And then I fixed it. So, I just feel best if you eat the best.
Have to eat as strictly as I do, but one thing that everyone can benefit from is just simply eliminating all processed foods and eating real whole foods that come from animals, from...
Yeah, if you can just, even if you're eating vegetables and potatoes, I eat vegetables and potatoes like quite frequently. Doesn't make me feel the best, but it's, you know, the main thing is that you're just eating no junk food and no chemicals and seed oils and things like that. Then the closer you get to just strict carnivore is better. But I'm not at that point yet, right? But I'm a lot better. I'm more animal based than I ever used to be, and I feel way better. And when I just eat animal foods and milk and that's about it, then I feel the best. And I'm actually getting a bit hungry right now, so I'm gonna go and eat. So shout out to JD Lewis, fantastic video. I've got a school community, first link in the description as well, where I talk like, you know, about A2 versus A1 dairy and talking about the Randall cycle and everything. If you're more interested in like the educational side of things, the first link in the description will take you there. Hope you enjoyed this. Shout out to JD Lewis, fantastic guy. Go and follow him, blah, 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 blah. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.